리버티 프로세스로 떠납니다.
Here we are on Galactic Process for the first time in KeSPA Cup so far here. Up in the top right in the purple, the Protoss player losing that last one. It is herO.
And his opponent, who deserves real credit for his builds in game number 1 and 2, it is Pet, the team MVP, and very impressive play. I got a little bit of chills, to be honest, when the Greater Spire, goes up, and I really thought he was going to be going for an air siege type play, because the Broodlords, of course, are most vulnerable in an open area, and let's be real, on New Gettysburg, that area to the middle of the map to the north is possibly one of the most open areas in the pool, next to the middle part of Dust Towers, right? So when you look at what he decided to do, he knew he had full confidence he could protect the Broodlords by ground and just push by ground. He wasn't going to try to do something gimmicky. He wasn't going to allow herO to get time to get Void Rays out, get Tempest out. He just pushed directly and quickly. And so herO made the decision to, instead of trying to buy time with Blink Stalkers and tech the Tempest, that he was just going to fight the ground army straight up. And we had this real clash of two rams in the middle of the map there, butting heads. But the splits on the lurkers for Pet, the control was much better.
Yeah, I think the only other thing that herO may have thought about doing was just going around the Broodlords, as I was saying. Yeah. Just trying to force a base trade, because Broodlords are so slow. And if you send back only the Hydras and the Lurkers alone to try to defend, there is a chance that you lose to them in a battle against very heavily upgraded Blink Stalkers. I think Pet had only +1 for his ranged units, but herO had +3. This is really cute, by the way.
What is this, C- Icy Cup? He's trying he's trying so hard to get the worker kill. He's gonna mess up his macro. No, he's Pet is you are not gonna kill my drone. Nice try. Very impressive though by both sides. The micro we saw there, we don't see that very often because it's just so hard to get a kill. And even if you force drones to be switched and stuff, it's so easy for a top level player like Pet to actually avoid this. But anyway, that was cool to see. But yeah, I completely agree with everything you're saying. I think that, just to close our thoughts on game 1, I really feel the stack defense that Pet had would have bought him sometime. Yeah, sorry, game 2, the previous set. That would have bought him some time, and either way, it was a tough situation for herO to deal with that tech, scouting it so late. Now this 2 adept pressure here will obviously do some damage. He cancels the shade, gets a drone there, one-shotted. The extractor cancel here, saves the drone. It looks like long-term even. Will he get targeted? Nope, just going to focus on the micro here. Shading or no, he will get surrounded, it looks like. Very good micro here from herO, but Link Speed is about to finish.
Oh, and he moves back into the Queens. A bit of a miss micro there. Loses both of his adepts. He may have lost them anyway to the speed, as you were saying, but maybe he could have saved one. Either way, they both go down, and Pet now on 3 bases. He did have to commit to a decent amount of defense there with the Lynx. He made about 10, I believe, but now he can drone up pretty easily. He's got a nice scout here with the Overlord. He can see everything.
You can see how flustered herO was too. He actually started air weapons instead of glaives. Didn't get warp gate research. I mean, he's a little bit all over the place in this early game. He gets glaives before warp gate research. His warp gate research is very late. He's really in this situation where, it's not massively behind or anything, but I feel like he's a little bit flustered. He's like, wow, am I going to lose to Pet in this series? Let's not forget, this is the first time Pet is actually going to do a little bit more of a macro opening. Is not actually going for kind of a cheeky, aggressive Ling attack.
Yeah, and I like this. It's a very big map. You can put on a bit of pressure with the 8 Lings that you made for the defense earlier on. Unfortunately, herO does not scout the drop coming in. Kind of bad timing there, so they may be caught off guard by just 8 Lings that could find a bit of damage, and even maybe scout this Dark Shrine that's on the way. That would be a huge scout if he could get that one.
If he clicks it, it's such a funny spot. It almost looks like a photon cannon. Looks
slips into the main.
Yeah, there's just one Stalker here, in fact. No Mothership Core. It's being created right now. Let's see how well herO micros his probes here. Decently well, and loses 1 for the time being. This counterattack is really nice. Obviously, it's hurting him, though, for the defense because he doesn't have those adapts, and he will scout the Shrine.
Does he click it, though? I don't know if he did. He probably did, but it's in a tricky location. You know, it's right next to that other pylon. So
it almost looks like a photon cannon,
or just another pylon. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Let's see if he reacts. Obviously, right now he's more interested in dealing with this adept pressure, and he will clean this up. He loses 8 drones. herO loses 4. They're still in solid, worker counts though. He just re-droned up, and he's making the spore crawler, so he's definitely aware. Plus, he has a baneling nest, which can be used to defend Dark Templar as well. He's in a solid spot, I'd say. I mean, he can hold this off. The spores aren't going to be ready immediately, but the lair is already halfway done, so he can make overseers shortly as well. I think he holds this with no problem, unless he makes a micro mistake. He should be fine. The spore more than halfway done here. The Ling's in position.
Should come up on time here, and let's see if one goes into the main, though. That will be the hardest. I'm not sure if he has the detection there in the main, so he's going to push that one away. He's making a spore now, but it's not ready yet.
Okay, he's going to have to use these roaches to defend until the banelings get here. He detonates them all, but to be honest, I think it definitely didn't need to do that, but I guess it works out okay. I'm not going to criticize him too much for that one. That was a stressful situation. I actually thought he intentionally had his units on the ramp to block the DTs, but I guess I was wrong about that too, because he definitely moved away right when the TT came in. But still, these DTs find no damage. 6 more drones on the way, and this is an expensive tech that herO went for, and now he's transitioning back at home. And you can see, I mean, herO's down significantly on workers. He's getting a 3rd base now as DT is hunted and found. 1 kill. I think it was a Ling.
Yeah, I think he just got that 1 Ling. Here we go. Overseer comes over and cleans up that DT. herO finally starts his 3rd, but already a 4th on the way here for Pet. And he is going to be going baneling speed with the melee upgrades here. So, kind of interesting. I mean, he has made a nice count of Lings, or rather roaches as well, and is making a bunch of Ravagers, but I guess he wants to go for kind of like a mixed comp here with Lings and roaches and Ravagers all together.
I think he wants to attack shortly in some facet at the 3rd base of the Protoss. He will have to break down those rocks with an army of this size. It won't take too long to do that. These are the rocks I'm talking about. I'm not actually sure if Galactic Process has a different armor value than the other maps. I'm just not sure about that. But I mean, if that's where he wants to attack, that's going to be what he breaks down and gets work on. You can see the Lings are actually already heading over there right now. So he is going to do as I described here. Yep, just regular rocks, no additional armor value. And here's the Mothership Core working on those Lings. So he scouts this, but he's got to be careful. Those Ravagers could snipe that Mothership Core if he sticks around with it, in fact. So a very tense moment here for herO, but if he defends, he's got great tech. He has already Disruptors on the way. And I like these run-bys. He's constantly just sending 2 Adepts at a time. Not a big investment, but forcing lost mining and forcing Pet to look at something else than his army.
Now, we do see Pet adding this static defense once again. You don't see this all too often, especially at this 3rd base like this. I'd like to see some of that 4th base too. And I'm kind of disappointed that Pet didn't go for some kind of pressure at the same time. I feel like he could have at least poked the wall. When you make this many Ravagers, you can definitely just throw a bunch of your Corrosive Biles down and just make sure that you don't get caught out in the middle of the map. But I think he was kind of flustered by just that 1 War Prism drop and just a bit of the pressure from herO. So he backs off.
Yeah, I completely agree. I feel like it's somewhat of a wasted tech, if you know what I mean, at this point. Now, while the Disruptors channel their Purification Novas, they are immobile, so we could see some attempted snipes to kill those here with the Ravagers. That could be the plan. Oh, that was some sexy micro right there, but herO does actually realize what's happening. And this is going to be a battle of micro, really, in the middle of the map here, should they clash. Pet obviously wants to avoid fighting against the Disruptors if he can.
He got the Baneling speed. I'm not 100% sure if he finished that, but he doesn't have any Banelings. He has only Lings. So, there you go. Okay, 33 Banelings on the way, and so many more Lings as well. He did make the Infestation Pit, but no Glands upgrade and no Infestors did come out.
Yeah, he just went straight Hive. I think he's going to try to go Broodlords again. That seems to be his style here. And again, it wasn't map dependent as I thought initially to do the air attack. It's really just he breaks a composition where he's confident that he can out-micro the Disruptors. This time he has to do it with a different type of tech. He is massing up the Banelings. This looks like 2011 ST or something, or really True in his
taking
prime.
a page out of True's book. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's funny that they're in the same group.
Yeah. All right. 2 more Disruptors popping out right now as well as Blink. These things will be very useful at dealing with this massive Baneling count. Looks like he's finally going to kill the Prism. Perhaps one of his other Raptors. Nice. Just the Prism. Not too significant. He was mostly using that Prism like an Observer. But
He didn't do much pressure with that for sure. Maybe see him at a static defense, or
yeah, I think so, to be honest.
Maybe he was just looking elsewhere. We do have a Spire on the way, and I think you're right about the Broodlord transition eventually. But even this army that he has on the map is really scary, especially once Adrenal Glands comes in. He's already got +2 melee attacks finishing up, way ahead of even the +1 here for herO.
Ooh, a blink forward here, actually. That was a vulnerable moment. These Stalkers don't have blink right now. Oh, boy.
Oh. If he gets a Disruptor hit on like 20 Banes, that could be insane.
herO needs to kill these rocks. If he's going up into rocks like this with Banelings and Corrosive Vials on the field, he's going to have a bad time. Here comes the attack straight towards the main base. herO's taking the long way around too. He's not going to be back here for a long time. By the time he gets to this wall, could be down. The Zealot goes down. He's just going to stream through here, and I think he has enough time to do so. Okay, down goes the pylon. He's now in this base. He's going to kill the Disruptor here. And now he has a good position against his army.
Disruptors! The Baneling's actually crashing into the Stalkers instead.
Oh man, he's in such good position to fight this army actually. Look at this, Baneling's just crashing into the Disruptors. The Stalkers at the back here. So many expensive units going down. Here it just seems like he doesn't know how to deal with this style. And his rotation back home was too slow. This core is very low. Let's not forget he's just remaxing out with Lings with Adrenal Glands nearly completed. Pet, I think, just won this game, Valdez. I mean,
it looks like it. That was a fantastic engage. He had an Ultralisk Cavern, actually. I think we missed that one. So he's got 5 Ultralisks on the way. He has killed the majority of this Protoss army, so remaking a bunch of Immortals is definitely going to be very hard here. He also does have that Greater Spire on the way if he does want to go into Broodlords as well.
To be totally frank, I'm really impressed with Pet's play. He's playing his own style, and he's really playing these maps his own way, and I think he's really tricked up here a little bit here. Look at this, targeting down the Disruptors to stop the Novas consistently throughout the series.
Oh, man. Even a nice little run by here, as if he hasn't done enough damage to herO's economy and his mental state at this point. He's going to kill another Nexus here. herO's going to be down to 2 bases and 37 probes, and he could be going down to the loser's match, Wolf.
You want to take bets on how quick he's going to GG when he sees these Ultras? I mean, he's got 6 Ultras on the map. If he sees these
Ultras.
Yeah.
Pet's like hiding them down here at this base.
He's like, oh, Ultras, can you kill those rocks? He's like, oh, sorry, I meant kill the Protoss. Okay, here we go, sees them.
GG.
GG. 2 seconds.
Less than a second, Wolf. Pet is going to the winner's match, 2-1-ing herO, a Starleague champion and KeSPA Cup champion as well. There you go.
I mean, to be super real, he got outplayed. Okay, I know a lot of people were getting.
No, I agree.
A lot of people might have said if he went for an all-in in Game 3 that maybe he cheesed herO out, but I think even in Game 2 his pressure did not do enough damage, but his transitions, his build, his strategy, all super well executed. I am very impressed. He could get out of this group in first place if he's on form in the other matchups as well as he is in this one. We already know he beat Dark in his EBZ, so if True perhaps goes up and meets him in that winner's match, he might be favored there as well. So this is going to be really exciting now. This is the tournament of upsets. We're just seeing upsets after upsets here. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's really, really cool to see as well. I mean, herO's a good enough player that he could get out in second place now if he goes to the loser's match in the final match here. But, I mean, Pet, the fact that he makes it up to the winner's match really puts himself in a good place. And we were talking about this is his chance, really his one opportunity. He's rolling with it, man. He's playing very well. Really liked his style there. But, guys, we are going to go to a commercial break before we go into those 2 players, TY versus True.